While we try to be as helpful as possible, this podcast should not be considered as professional or financial advice. It contains general information only, and you should seek out professional advice for your own personal circumstances before making any financial decisions.
Welcome back, guys. I'm Julia.
And I'm Nick.
Oh yeah, I'm Zack.
And this is the Enthusiast Lab. Welcome to the podcast, Zack. Thank you so much for coming on board.
Thanks for having me.
Please introduce yourself.
Who the fuck are you?
Oh, I've been thinking about that for a long time. I'm Zack, 22 today.
Happy birthday.
Birthday drinks, guys. Come on.
Happy birthday.
I thought we were just going out together on the piss.
Well, we're doing that too.
Yep.
We're doing that too. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I'm 22, healthcare security officer worker.
Sick.
And now one of your community members.
100%. You built your own home. You've already been in it now. How long have you been in?
4th of November, I think I first jumped in.
Yeah, killer. So about a month and a half.
Yeah. Also, big thank you to Zack for bringing us some gin and soda, grapefruit flavour.
Grapefruit flavour. Fucking nice.
Sorry, I thought you brought it for Christmas. I was like, oh, that's pretty
Well, it's
sweet.
a Christmas present as well. It's just all wrapped up in one.
All wrapped up in one.
All in one.
Okay, so Zack obviously built with us, and I'll give all of our listeners a bit of a timeline so that we can keep that in the back of our minds as we talk about his process and the journey and everything.
Yep.
So he signed up in June 2023, got formal approval in October, got settlement in November, slab down was in December, and then we had bricks in February 2024, roof in March 2024, and handover in November 2024.
Yes.
And we are recording this in the very, very tail end of December 24, but this will be released, I think, mid-January. So for all of our listeners, we are trying to pre-record a couple of our episodes to get launched in the beginning of 2025.
Yeah, we're basically just trying to get a couple more in because it just gets too hard with time frames with us at the moment. We're absolutely slammed. So we're trying to get a couple in, then we can stagger them out, and then we can reassess from there what we're doing in 2025.
Yeah, start re-recording hopefully January or maybe even early February. So we'll see. So that's Zack's timeline of where we started, where we finished, and what today's date is. So let's look at your journey.
Yes.
Let's do it.
So did you always want to build, or was it kind of something you stumbled upon? What was the process of getting into your own home?
Purely by chance. So I work with a few boys, and all of them said don't build. Everyone has told me don't build, especially because of all the dramas with some of the other companies at the moment.
Yeah.
How did I find you? I found you on Instagram, and it's funny because when I first found you, I think I had one mutual friend.
Yeah.
And now it's probably like 70.
Standard practice?
Yeah, no, it was really just kind of stumbled upon you. I wanted to get a foot into the market. So nervous.
It's all right. It's all good. Just breathe.
You're fine.
Breathe.
You're good.
So yeah, I wanted to get a foot into the market, and I think sent out a message to you, whatever, just to get a what the hell is going on.
Well, yeah. I think it was basically just sitting there going like, I have no fucking idea what to do. Like, can I just catch up and
Have
just
a chat.
tell me what I need to do to get started?
So I did that. I brought my mum with me.
Yes.
And
She's such a sweetheart. I love her. She's awesome.
Love you, mum.
Love you, mum.
And you're quite a character, Nick.
Yes.
Which I love. And I was like, yeah, bring mum. This will be funny. See how this goes. And literally the first meeting that we were in there, you, and we come out of it, and literally as the door shuts, she goes, yeah, I like Nick.
Yes.
And I was like, well, looks like we're building then. But yeah, no, you guys just like laid out the whole process. I literally went in not even thinking I was going to build or buy, and literally,
surprise.
Yeah, like we did 2 sessions and I signed up.
Yep.
So I like didn't know what I wanted at a house, didn't know what the hell was going on. And before you knew it, I'm at pre-start signing shit and picking things. And I was like, I did not think this through, but it all worked out. it come out beautiful. So yeah, no, thank you guys, because you guys did all the legwork. I didn't have to do anything.
No, you're most welcome. Like, at the end of the day, we put it together, but at the end of the day, you're the one fucking paying, not me. Like,
Oh fuck.
at the end of the day, at the end of the day, it's still for yourself. But like, we had a few catch ups, and we were talking with mum, and mum was right onto it, man. Like, she was fucking spitfiring the questions.
She literally was like, I'm coming, I'm asking this because you're not going to ask shit. And I was like, yeah, fair enough. And she's like grilling you, and you're just
I'm just like,
and I was like,
deny.
Yeah. And I was like, and yeah, well, if you want my mum over,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure you could win anyone over.
Yes, perfect.
I actually love hearing the situations when people do bring their parents, because they know it's got to go one of two ways. 9 times out of 10, like, the client has already listened to a reel or a podcast or something, so they know that Nick is a mouth of a sailor kind of swearer. It is fuck shit everywhere.
Yep.
And parents sometimes just are so unprepared for that.
It must be like jarring for them, hey?
Yeah, because I think they're prepared to come and sit in front of like a sales consultant in a button-up shirt, and a professional desk, and everyone's like, "Good evening, ma'am," and then there's Nick. How you going, mate?
Can you imagine with like rocking out with a big ass fucking Monopoly, that Monopoly man, with a big ass top hat,
with a spectacle.
Yeah, with a spectacle, and just like, "Good evening, madam."
And then the parents walk in, they're like, "Hey, mate, how's it going?" Nick's here in a t-shirt and like chinos. But yeah, mixed reviews, but most parents get along with it.
Did you prep mum before she came?
Fuck no. It was kind of a social experiment. Go, oh, this will be funny, if it doesn't go out. Ooh.
Oh man, we should have brought your mum as well. That would have been golden.
God, no.
We're gonna have to do a follow-up episode.
You know what? Yeah, we can. You can talk to mum. Oh god.
We'll convince mum. And you mentioned that you saw us on Instagram. What was the turning point to like build with us? Did you shop anywhere else? Did you go look at other builders, or did you just kind of see us and like, yep, I'm happy with what he's saying?
So I did actually go to a few home opens, looked at a few houses. Now at the time, what was I, 20 at the time? Yeah, you have no chance. Every home open I went to, there was like literally like 200 people. There's people on the phone to overseas people, and everything was getting sold for 70 grand more.
Yeah.
I'm 20, mate. I don't have that big of pockets for that. So, yeah, I went to you guys, and then I was looking at some of the plans that I could have built through you, and I was like, well, fucking, this is way better than any of the houses I've seen. And so glad I did. Yeah. Really glad I did.
I'm really glad that you took that first step to reach out, because that's the hardest part, I reckon.
Yeah.
The rest of it, like, it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Like, you either go ahead with it or you don't, but it's the what if, and like you're sitting there going, fuck, do I reach out? Like, it's fucking daunting to reach out.
Yeah, no, it was definitely daunting, but can't say that I ever like double hesitated or anything like that. I literally just did it, and I was like, fuck, so happy I did. So happy I did.
So glad to hear that.
Good. And it's, I think you were in quite a hard position when all of your friends, all of your colleagues are sitting there saying, don't build. And 2023 was kind of a hard year where and I think we did a podcast about this. It's the houses are flying off like hotcakes. The building industry was in such a turmoil because we just came out of the boom. Houses are still, in a 3-year build.
They're still ramping costs every month. Land was going up every like 2-3 weeks. 5 grand, 10 grand.
Do you know that I paid $5 grand more for my land? Do you remember that?
Yes.
So we were looking at the property I'm at now, or one down in Mandurah, and I was very indecisive, like, oh, do I want to go to Mandurah? Do I want to stay in Baldivis? And Nick's like, oh, go have a look at the one down in Mandurah. So I went down there, had a look, wasn't for me. And I was like, nah, I want that Baldivis one. It had gone up $5 grand the next day.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then there was like a bidding war. So like Nick secured it for me.
Yep.
And then there was like 4 other people trying to take it off me.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
it was cutthroat.
It was, especially during that time, because everyone was just trying to secure land. There's such a land shortage, and we had the hold, and I was getting the responses, and I was sending them through to you going, bro, like, if I can, I'd love to hold it for you, but it's either we do it now or it goes to the next person and they're paying more. So where are we at? And then you're sitting there, and it's hard because it puts that pressure on you when you don't need it, but at the same time, it gets you.
It's got to be done.
It has to be done.
Especially me, I would have just kind of like, oh, let me go back and check again and again. Like, you kind of need that, like, you need to pick one, and it kind of just a bit of a leap of faith, but it was perfect. Like that's what you need.
Yeah, and you built a beautiful home.
Killer.
Like for a single bloke, that
I've
is
had
20.
so many compliments on that. Everyone keeps saying,
Is he gay? I thought that was the one that was going for.
Only for Nick. But I've had so many people like, did you have a woman involved in this? Anything like that? I was like, oh, you know, good taste. And they're like, yeah, like kind of suspiciously. Like,
Who helped you?
Yeah.
You did a fantastic job with choosing colours, because normally young guys just go black. And
Black,
you did
white, grey.
such a airy, beautifully coloured
Neutral.
home, neutral colour. And you did very tasteful designs. So Zach built a design which was called the Mr. Big, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we swapped your study and your walk-in robe around and created a gaming section, which I thought was great.
Perfect. Honestly, because I remember you actually talked me out of that.
Yeah,
you were
I
trying
did.
to talk me out of that. So
Yeah.
Nick was saying, mate, the walk-in wardrobe is like really big. I was like, Nick, you don't know how many clothes I've got, man. Like, I need bigger. So it was a perfect swap. And now I've got like this little, where the walk-in wardrobe used to be, a little study nook kind of a thing there, which is like central to the house.
Yes.
Where the internet is, it's perfect. And now I've got a massive fucking walk-in wardrobe. So
Yeah.
love it.
Nah, awesome. And I'm really glad that you sat there and you tried to explain, because like I get all sorts of requests and I will put my opinions on it, because if I don't, I'm not doing you the right service. Do you know what I mean? Because like I see heaps of shit. I'm just like, bro, dude, like this is big. This is a big wardrobe. You're just like, you don't know me. You don't know me. So I was like, yeah, sweet, happy days. And it came out killer, because now you've got a 4x2 with a massive walk-in robe, with that study nook and a theatre, all on the same block, and you still got a yard as well. Like,
Yeah, it's actually a
killer.
big size yard.
It's fucking came out killer.
For Baldivis. But
Yeah.
well, it's funny because when the slab's there and everything, you're looking at it, you're like, is it big enough? And then the
Yeah.
walls go up and you're like, oh, it's bigger. Each stage goes along, and now I moved in and I'm like, far out, it's a big house.
You've
And-
built a home that you can grow into now for the next 5-10 years. Do you know what I mean? Like
Easily.
you don't need to fuck it off within a year, like and
Yeah,
you've outgrown
yeah.
it. Again, your lifestyle will then change and you go, fuck it, I'm gonna go bigger now. Happy days. But in terms of, that's basically classified as a family home.
Yeah,
Do
well,
you know
that's
what I mean?
kind of the idea, because when I
Yes.
first came to you, you said, I was like, oh, I don't care if it's a 3x2, 4x2, and you're like, 4x2. Like,
4x2.
Open up the market when you want to get rid of it one day, if you
Yes.
do. And, I've loved it. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, you made killer fucking profit out of the house, and
Yeah,
you
now
can
we're
rent.
Have you
Yeah.
done a refinance?
Haven't done a refinance. I'm still on an old, not your current mortgage broker.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So it's something I would like to look into. I've heard mixed things. So definitely something I need to be a bit more proactive and kind of study a bit more.
Yeah.
Yep. We've got podcast episodes about that.
Yeah.
I've definitely probably listened to
Listen
them
to
as
them.
well. But
Good. So that's definitely something to look at. As an average guide, the house has gone up about 150 from when we started. It's insane.
talk dirty to me, Nick.
Say less.
I do have a question. So you did the gaming section. Are you a gamer?
No, he just did it
PC?
just for shits and gigs.
I like to game when I have the time, but being single man with a house, I live at work.
Yeah.
So,
Fair.
What do you game? PC or?
nah, PS5, man.
Yeah,
PS5?
gangster. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you more like? Are you more into like first person shooter or games? Like
really anything.
sports?
I love my sports games.
Yeah, okay.
NBA 2K.
Yeah.
Holding out for GTA 6 whenever that happens.
Probably another 2 more years.
Yeah,
on
I'll
this
probably
rate.
have my next house by then.
Yeah.
That's for real.
Zach's second home before GTA 6. Facts.
But yeah, no, I'm really open to
Yeah, cool.
anything. So
Happy
let me know
days.
what you play.
Yeah, done. I will.
Well, I'm holding out for Elden Ring 2,
Yeah, the new one.
the new one.
We need to finish the first one.
When's
Yeah.
that one out?
I think it is coming out. Or
2025, I think they
Is
said.
it?
Yeah.
There's a new expansion on it.
No, not
It's-
a
no,
expansion.
sorry, it's a whole new standalone, but it's like an expansion.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Oh,
sick.
How the hell do you have time to do all this?
I
Like
don't.
generally,
Nighttime.
I don't.
Nighttime.
Do you sleep?
Time. Not really.
Sometimes.
Most of the time, like 4 hours, 5.
No, you're just like me.
50-50.
Just
Yeah.
like me.
Yeah, mate.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
50-50.
Yes.
Sorry, I just lost my
Let's-
spot. What fears did you have going into that, and how did you kind of
Overcome them.
overcome the fears?
It's a bit of a cop out answer, but honestly, I didn't have any fears with you guys. So even though everyone that I spoke to, like honestly, no one everyone I spoke to didn't know about you then. Yeah, I don't know. I was like going in, the biggest concern was just jacking prices up mid-build, especially because I was renting at the time. And I was like, oh, yeah, I've heard a lot of bad stories. Some of the guys that I work with are still building now.
Fuck.
Yep, some of them still building. One of them got his keys just before me.
Yeah.
And that was like a 3-year build process.
Shit.
And I'm not going to name the company, but he got fucked up. Yeah, like had to do half the stuff himself.
Poor bloke. Shit.
So I have a question, right? I don't think I've asked this before, which is when you go into a consultant or a company and you've never heard of them before, how do you decide like this is the one? Like what was that deciding factor? Because hold on. Hear me out. Like there's so many building companies out there that are like such big name brands.
Yeah.
And you haven't gone to a big name brand company. You've come to, a small husband and wife consultancy. And none of your friends have heard about us before. Most of the time we've got a client who has got a friend who's heard of us or has got a friend that's built through us. Like it's like a chain reaction. For you who hasn't heard of us, none of your friends have heard about us. We're definitely not like a big company brand.
I wish we were, but we're not.
I'd like to be, but what was that deciding factor for you? Like,
mainly just face value. So I think because of my job as well, I'm pretty good at reading people. So when I went to you guys, it was just like, it's very transparent, very honest. I asked for something, Nick's like, fuck off, you're not getting that, mate. Like, it's very real. And so that's why, I think just like, don't do yourself the disservice, just go have a chat and you'll find a lot of the answers. It's really just like you guys, you're just very open, honest people.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate that. Looking at the overall journey, any highlights? Any moments that stood out for you? What did you like about the journey? What did you dislike?
I think like your main stages, so like the slab going down, that's always really cool, seeing the outline of it and seeing your house go up, the progresses, the walls coming up, the bricks, that was a big one.
Yeah.
Can't forget the keys, that's the best part.
Yes.
But yeah, it's very hard to know because that actually the whole process went so quick. I mean, when you lay it out, it seemed so many months, but time flew. Like it really did. I thought it was going to be a lot longer, but it just kind of flick of a beat and here's your house. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Well, the longest part was the fact that we had to wait for the land to be titled because that's why we couldn't get because you were ready for finance straight away, but we just couldn't.
Yeah, that was.
But we had to wait a couple of months for the titles. That's why we had to push out like 4 or 5 months before finance was approved because we had to wait for it. But at the same time, like your whole journey was, I think it's just under 11 months. It's like 10 and a half months. When did you slab down?
Slabs, yeah.
15th of December. 11 months. Yeah, so 11 months, right? But you lose basically most of December and early Jan because of fucking Chrissy. Because that's like, we're using calendar months. So true actual is like 9.5 months of actual work. Yeah. Or 10 months. Yeah. But at the end of the day, 11 months is 11 months. We told you it will be done in 12 months or less. That's it. Fucking, and we smashed it, which is awesome.
Kept your promise.
Yeah. The builder did their work, we did ours, and we always kept in contact. Do you feel like we did enough contact with you during the whole process? Do you feel like you wanted more or less? Or because obviously like a lot of consultants don't actually contact their clients afterwards. Do you know what I mean? They normally just get you up, sign you up, maybe touch base at slab down, then that's basically it. Obviously we do the three weekly. Is that how we call it?
Yeah, every 3 weeks.
Every 3 weeks we go out on site and we obviously tag you and we go out on site and do the updates. Were they helpful? Like, were you looking forward to them? Were you doing your own checks as well?
In all honesty, I live like 2 minutes away from where I'm building.
Oh yeah, fuck, okay.
So
there was no point for us to do it.
I was there, like I literally drive past work, just drive past it. Yeah. So like I was there every day. Definitely would be beneficial for the people that like, if I was building down in Mandurah,
yes,
I'm not going down there.
You're not trekking.
I'm not trekking. Yeah. So that would have been a lot more helpful. It was definitely cool getting like the drone shots and the proper perfect shots, not just my little shitty phone. Yeah. So, you guys spoke to me. I'm not going to decline a call from you, Nick, you can always call me more.
100%.
It's all right.
Well, we're still waiting for you to
I'll
rock
call-
up to a client function.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
You'll hear more from me when you start rocking up to
all
our
right,
events.
all right. I'll wear that one. I'll wear that one.
It's a give and
What's
take.
the next one?
We haven't locked it in yet. It's probably gonna be around late Feb.
Yeah.
And I want to do bowling. Just hire out the whole fucking place.
Okay.
Just hire out the whole place and get like 40, 50 of you guys.
All right.
I don't want stupid, because like we had 92 clients at our Christmas event. It was gangster. Fucking so many people.
Trying to get through that many people in conversations.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
Yeah,
It
you
was a
guys
lot.
would
So
be-
I reckon if we
ooh.
halved it and just made a little bit more, like,
Intimate.
yeah, that's one. I'll light up some candles and then me and you can talk a bit.
Yes. Yes.
But I think something like that's a bit more intimate, and we can actually spend the time with everyone, and everyone can actually spend a lot of that time as well, because that's what I reckon we'll do, which is what we normally do. And then the big boy one, that's always our Chrissy function. That's the one
Yeah,
that we full
okay.
send. But that's if you're on shift work and you're at night, then
I'll
it
be
is
there,
what it
man.
is.
I'll come to that
I'll
one.
hold you to
Just
that one.
later on in
Everybody
the year,
that's
because
listening.
I'm off to Europe like later
Oh,
in the
yeah?
year.
When?
Probably gonna lock in around like August and
Yeah.
go for like 7 weeks or
Oh,
something.
gangster.
yeah.
Gangster.
That's
Doing
exciting.
like a Kentucky type of
Yeah,
thing? Yeah.
yeah.
Typical 20 plus year olds.
Kentucky.
Fucking,
You
gotta
The
do
way
it,
to
mate.
go.
You
oh,
gotta do
man.
it.
Man, especially while you're single, fucking send it.
Absolutely.
That's the plan.
Was there anything that you didn't like about the build or about the process?
You can be honest. No one gives a fuck. You've already
Yeah,
built the
but
house.
You got the house. No one's gonna.
I was very laid back. Like I just kind of was like, oh yeah, it's still going. As long
Yes.
as the step kept moving, I was happy. So like there
Yes.
I wasn't unhappy. I just wish I did. Obviously, because when I first went to you guys, I wasn't even expecting to build or buy. It was more just I'm going there. The next thing you know, I was like, oh shit, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
So I just wish I'd thought a bit more about it. Not that like I'm not happy with like how it turned
Mhm.
out,
Yeah.
but definitely would have made changes.
Yeah.
Even just like little things
To the house?
to the house.
Yeah, okay.
Not like big structural plans, but I'm just talking like the little power outlets or like things like that. Just things like
Yeah.
that. Although I still think I did pretty good for my first time.
Fuck yeah. So that's actually something that it's actually really good that you picked it up on here, because we've started now obviously offering to clients now. We've got a Sparky that people can go pay was a few $100 and sit for 2 hours with them at the office and go through your entire electrical plan. So you've actually got someone with the entire guidance going through that, because if you do recall your pre-start pretty well, or is it much of a blur?
Yeah, no, I remember it. Yeah.
So, you were there for like 2-3 hours, right? And you're doing the entire house. And then you're also confirming the plans and your electricals at the same
Yeah.
time. So I very highly doubt, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that let's say you did not spend an hour on your electrical plan. No fucking way.
No.
Like maybe like 10, 15, 20
It
minutes
was
max.
just like, oh yeah, one would probably go there, one would go there. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
literally what it was like.
Exactly. And that's the thing that we're saying, like yourself right now, you've moved in and you're going, fuck, there's a couple of things I should have done. So we're trying to battle that for the future people,
Yeah.
going, hey, here's something that, might potentially be worth it. Off you go.
That's a very
Go
good
send.
idea. Yeah, I wish I had that.
Look,
that's all right, I'm
I've
having
got
another
to
one.
get the feedback so then we can
Yeah.
adopt to where we are. Hey, like we're doing a fucking building podcast. There was no
Yeah.
fucking way I thought we'll be doing this. But I do appreciate the feedback, because then that helps actually reinforce what we're thinking, going, shit, this is actually worth it
Yeah.
for other people.
I also want to say 9 times out of 10, I'd say most people move into their home, and after the first 4 to 6 months, they're like, oh, I would have made this change. Like
Yeah.
if I built this house now, I would have made
Yeah.
this change. Like we still do this in the house that we just built.
And we've built 400 homes.
We've designed 400 homes type of thing. And we have still made mistakes. Like you will never design the perfect home on your first go.
Never say never. There may be.
I mean,
but
maybe.
The reality is you're going to fuck something up.
Oh well, yeah. When I started the building journey, all the guys that like I know, especially the ones that have already built, they're like, mate, first time you say it's gonna be, you thought of it all, you haven't.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, I think I have. And then moving in. To be fair, I've thought about most things. Like I thought
Yes.
quite far ahead on the little bit of time that I had. But yeah, even now I'm still like, yeah,
Nothing.
yeah, fuck, should have done that.
That's all good, man. I'm really glad. Like, man, for your first home, our first home, man, was a 300 square block with a 3x2. We were lucky enough to get a theatre included into it, but I had no aircon, no painting. We had to pay extra for the blinds. We had,
I'm smashing my air.
bro. We only painted the house like last year. We've been in the house for 8 years, so it took me 7 years to paint the fucking house.
And you've been painting everyone else's houses, so you've been a bit preoccupied.
Pretty much. Do you know what I mean? So like, it was just a lot of that. Like, that's what we had back then.
Yeah.
We didn't know any better. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've heard the whole story of how we started, but at the end of the day, it's still something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've then utilized that. And, you know, bought multiple properties and we're building our next proper home now and shit. But you got to start somewhere. You got to be in it and let that grow its value over time and then do your better one after.
Yeah, well, that's the...
Same thing like you, man.
Yeah.
100%. But for your first, you've done gangster.
You've killed it.
And everyone's going to be like, oh, no, you could have done bigger. You know, your blocks are too small and shit. Bro, you got a 450 square block in an area that you want with a 4x2, with a theatre and a fucking massive walk-in robe. You've done it really well. You've done awesome for yourself. Fuck, man, you're 22. You're 22 today. You started this when you were like fucking 20.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I was
like,
a baby. Still am.
The average first home buyer is like 35 years of age, man. You're like,
oh, shit.
Yeah, man. Like,
You're killing it.
Let's see where you are going to be in the next 13 years. If you're staying in the same house, I'm going to fucking slap you across the head.
Nah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you'll be smashing goals. As long as you continue the way you're going, man, you're fucking... Sky's the limit.
I appreciate it, man. Really,
Sky's the
appreciate
limit.
it, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, you've definitely killed it for the age that you're at. Like, you can
Gangster.
only go up from here.
Yeah.
Use the equity, go for the next one. It is just like this house is a stepping stone to get you to bigger
It
better
opens
places.
the doors to other shit. And like you were saying, like, you're going on a fucking holiday, you know, next year and shit. Just because you got a house doesn't mean it's the end of the world. So many people think, oh, fuck, I got a house and this is the end of it. I'm like, bro, your life starts when you get a house. And then you just start. It is hard.
No, I actually would go. Okay, I won't say that, but
No, go
so
on.
when I was renting, obviously I was very lucky. Like I was renting with a few people, so I was only paying like $150 a week at the start.
Gangster.
At the start,
Yeah.
obviously went up, but like looking at some of the people that I work with and friends, and they're renting, I'm paying like less than some of them.
Shit.
Like seriously, like I'm paying less than some of them, and that's like fully in my house, full mortgage repayments.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not actually
Not as bad as you
It's
think.
not as bad.
The only killer is obviously it's different for everyone's situations, but yeah, obviously if you're renting and doing that, I was just very lucky and I had a cheap ass rental at the time. But yeah.
That's 100%, I think, one of the hardest parts for people because you do have to make some repayments during the course of the build. It's not the whole thing, but it's still quite a bit of a chunk. And I think that's where people really get stuck. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, let me try and go establish. Oh, fuck, I need to offer 100K above asking and I'm getting fuck all for it. So, and then you buy it and then it's a shit show. You need to fix it. You need to spend another 200 grand.
Yeah.
Where are people pulling another 100, 200K out of? You can't just go back to the bank and go, oh, excuse me, sir, let me just borrow more, even though I maxed out my borrowing. It gets hard. And I think that's where people get really stuck as well.
Yeah.
And then they're just stuck with a house and going, fuck.
I do think that when push comes to shove, people make it work. They either rent out rooms and where they are now, or they move in with mum and dad for 6 months. And you know what? We did that when we started building. Like we moved in with mum and dad for a short period of time, and yes, it was uncomfortable, especially after like moving out to move back in. You've got furniture with you. You have to put all of that into storage.
Yeah, it was a fucking pain in the
if you
ass.
have pets, then you have to introduce pets. But like, I'd rather sacrifice a couple of months of my life living with mum and dad again to then get my own place versus
100%.
not taking that step.
Yeah, but not everyone's got that opportunity.
No,
too.
I understand, but you know, there are ways that people navigate it through. It's uncomfortable and it's hard, but you kind of navigate it through.
Look, one of the sayings I keep going on to everyone: if it was easy, everyone would fucking do it.
Absolutely.
And that's the cold hard truth of building, right? And just ownership of property. If it was easy, everyone would fucking do
Yeah.
it. It's not, so buckle the fuck up and let's do it. Like, that's the reality of what it is. Because if you don't get in, it's just going to get further and further away from you. And to try and reach it, you need to earn more and save more and more. And you're trying to get the same thing, but it just keeps costing more. So all of a sudden, you're just going, oh, fuck, if I jumped in, at least that money isn't going into the developers' pockets and the builders' pockets. It's going to my own pocket and letting the equity grow. And that's what you've done. You could have done it now. The house will be different. It'll be a lot smaller and it'll be costing you more. Or you jumped in when you did and went, fuck it, YOLO. And your YOLO is now 150K in the bank with the house being worth more. Maybe a bit more. I reckon a bit more.
Have you done a valuation?
Have you done?
I haven't.
No, you already asked
But-
this,
No,
Julia.
I asked you to do refinance.
Pro-
Memory of a
Professional Zack.
goldfish.
Financing advice. Looking on like the real estate around me, yeah. You know what's funny? There's a house, not that it got sold, it actually dropped down a bit, but like literally 3 houses down, 4x2. Don't get me wrong, it's beautifully done inside, but like just bit of grass on the back. They were same size block. It was a 480 block. They were asking for 899.
Ooh,
Fuck.
wow.
Not
Hold
that
on.
it hasn't sold.
Didn't we do yours for like 6?
580.
5?
Holy fuck.
Not that my house is definitely not worth that.
It'll be in
but
the
I think
eights.
they're asking about 850 now. But like when I first moved in and their for sale sign was up and it was 899, I was like, get the fuck out of here. It's Baldivis, mate. Like,
Yeah, but this is the thing. But then you look at the market and it's like, bro, this isn't just Baldivis. It's everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
Everywhere's gone up. So, fuck, man, if you've made more than 150, you're laughing your way to the bank, man. Happy days.
Hope so.
Time to go buy a supercar
Here we go.
and pull it
Another
into the
house
mortgage.
first, Nick, another
Yeah,
house.
done.
Yep.
Investment or bigger home?
Oh, that's a hard one. I did talk to you about
Yeah, we
down
did.
the track of doing another one like that. I'm not too sure if I'd do a different one purely for that sort of purpose, or if I would build a like kind of a better home that I want.
Yeah, and then rent out.
Rent that the one
Yeah,
I'm in now.
yeah.
So
Well,
decisions to make.
Looks like
Both
a
options are there.
Looks like a 2025 conversation since you made so much equity now.
Let the man travel for a year.
It's just like, fuck off, man.
I've had enough of you. All right?
Oh, fuck. It's because we're not holding hands. That's
Yeah,
why.
absolutely. Well, that answered my question, my last question, which is, would you build again?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah?
100%, yeah. Without a doubt. I just think, like, if you're getting a house, don't get me wrong, like, buying a pre-established is great, but, like, you can design it how you want it. Like, down to, like, the tiny little things, the colours, everything. And, yeah, no, 100%. I'm actually really keen to do another one.
Fuck yeah, good. Even when you miss PowerPoints in the house,
Yeah.
you can do
Even
that
with
too.
the little missed PowerPoints. Still want to do it, mate. Still want to do it.
Is there any advice you would give to people who are who are thinking about building or buying? Any advice you would give to clients who are kind of on that teetering edge?
I mean, it's hard, but think ahead. I've been nagging some of my best mates who are in way better financial situations than me, but just haven't done anything with them. Ziggy, that's you. And when I said,
What's his last name? Goodmenu?
No.
Oh,
His
okay.
name is Zach as well, but
Oh, okay.
Ziggy
Because
because
I've
we've
got a client
Zacks.
called Ziggy and he signed up. I'm like, is it him?
Unless he hasn't told me, but yeah, no. So yeah, when I first built, I was like, mate, jump into it. Like, I was looking ahead and I was just like, because everyone kept saying, oh, the market's going to crash. No doubt, probably will one day. It will always recover.
100%.
But he was like, no. And like, I'm in this position now. And I'm like, yeah, just think ahead. Think about, like, obviously where you're going to work or this, that, the other. Like, what suburb do you want to go to? What's a good area that you can see? Is there like a train line coming up? Is there a shopping centre? Like, just little things like that.
Infrastructure. Big.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a tough question.
No,
What
it's
about
good. It
what-
is a tough one,
yeah.
but it's whatever comes to mind first is kind of the advice you tend to give to your mates, which is
Yeah.
think about, future pacing yourself. If you are looking at building infrastructure, where do
Yeah.
you live? Where do you work? If you're a Southie, you're not going to go north most of the time or vice
Yeah.
versa.
A lot of people also just like, it's more about let's say like you create a scenario, let's say you're hanging out with a couple of mates, having a couple of beers, and then someone's like, yeah, I'm thinking of building. What's your response to that? Go talk to Nick.
Yeah, I was just beat me to it. Yeah, I've got a guy that you need to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't, like, stress enough, like, how easy this situation was. I got hounded from everyone. Don't build, like, don't do it. And then, like, it kind of just fell into your lap. No pun intended.
with a couple of spanks
Yeah,
on
a
the
little
way.
spank here and there, but yeah, it was just smooth sailing. Too many of those. And yeah, it was just. Have you guys had many other clients, like, had any real shocking ones? Because I do appreciate some of your podcasts. Like, it's not all glitter and glam. Like, you guys, like, do air all the shit out.
Yeah. So
We-
we've had a few clients that obviously went not with the same builder you went with, which was the Vita Homes. We had some of our older builders,
Right.
and they had like a 2+ year build. So we got them on and went, how was the entire journey? Do you know what I mean? From start to end, from us and with the other builder. And they went through some of their the tribulations they had to go through and some of the issues and shit like that. So we air it all, man. And that was a really interesting one because I had a couple dilemmas with them, and we've had one that had dilemmas with what we were doing. And then we sat back and went, actually, yes, some of that stuff was probably from our end. And then some of them going, bro, that's just, you've created that scenario. This is actually from the outside what's actually happened. And then they're gone, oh yeah, fuck, I didn't see that.
Right.
So I'm fucking neutral. I don't give a fuck. We'll go through it all and we'll call it as it is. So if we fuck up, we fuck up.
Well, like
if
I
we
said,
don't, we don't.
Like I said to you before we started recording, which is this.
We pull a gun to his head first.
No, like the
good shit only.
The idea of a client episode is for it to be as unscripted as possible. I've got a small baseline of the questions that I ask to kind of keep the conversation flowing, but really it is about your journey, your experience, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So then for clients listening, they sit there and go, okay, he's had a good experience, but he had this issue. That's something we need to look out for. Or vice versa. He's had a bad experience and, you know, this is why he's had a bad experience. It is all about, you know, airing out things to look out for, things that you did that worked for you and things that you did that didn't work for you. It's not about sitting here and going, we're fantastic and everything's glitz and glam with us, because
even
it's
though
not.
We are perfect.
It's not, you know, like our
Zack
clients,
agrees. Don't you, Zack?
like
Gun holding to it.
I can feel it.
whilst we do pride ourselves in the service that we hold and, you know, the community that we build and everything that we create as Mr Enthusiast, not everything is smooth sailing.
No.
You know, we can control what we do, but we can't control what the builder does or how quickly.
Or the bank or the developer. Fuck.
There's so many moving parties in this situation, and us as your sales consultant, if you will, we're here to try and put out as many spotfires as possible to make sure that your journey remains smooth sailing, because normally the developer or the bank or the broker or the builder will contact us first and go, hey, by the way, this is what's happening with Zack's job, and we're like, okay, we like kick into gear and go, what can we do before advising the client to go, hey, by the way, this has happened.
It's also something that it's how we've structured the business, which is a bit different. A lot of clients will actually hear from the builder direct about when a problem arises, when there's a price increase, etc. We put the agreements in place of the builders where that communication comes to us first. We approve or disapprove any communication with something that large before it goes to you, because then we can create that plan of attack, which is what I was saying is, even though you're in this building journey and you can feel alone, you're not. You've got us the entire way. We are in this together, the good, the bad, the ugly. And part of that is how we've structured the agreements with our builders, where we've actually sat down negotiating, going, cool, if there is a price increase, if there's any dilemmas, bring it to me first. Let's work out why it's happened, what's happened, can we come to the party, what is the solution? Then you'll hear from me going, hey, this is what's happened, this is why, this is what we can do to fix it. So it keeps shit moving. But and that's a real big thing with how we've done it all, is to make sure that you're not just sitting there going, okay, fuck, the developer, you know, didn't agree with my floor plan. They're not happy with this. What the fuck do I do now? It's hey, we had to actually extend the front bedroom a little bit because they weren't happy with it, but this is what it is. Here's what the rough cost is. But in our opinion, this is what will happen with that. And so that way you actually hear, not many people know that, but that's the shit that we do in the background to help smooth sail.
Well,
the
yeah,
process.
I do appreciate that, because I think the only delay I had was, I think it was floods over East or something. And we're talking like a 2-week delay. It was nothing. It was like towards the end of my build. I think it was waiting on some cabinetry or some shit.
There was a huge cabinet delay. There was up to an 8-week cabinet delay in 2024.
I only got like a 2-week, but again, that came from you guys.
Yes.
It was just like, hey, like it was very transparent up front. It wasn't just all right, you've signed on, fuck off, like, and we'll leave you in the dark and you'll get it when you get it. It was very, like, preemptive, give you all the heads up. And that's why, like, hopefully I didn't bother you too much.
No, you're fine.
I was like, although I have to say, mate, you answer your phone at stupid times. Like, I'll be on night shift, and I was like, I think it was one of the times I was like, fuck, I wanted different lights. And I was like, hey, Nick, can we get different lights? He's like, mate, a little bit late in the build. He's like, better just do it after. And I was like, yeah, good point. But again, it's just another thing of you're like always there, even for the most bullshit fucking. Yeah,
but that's what it's all about, man. It's your first time. Like, I've done this so many times and I'm still learning shit. And the thing is that's what we offer, which makes us different. Like, at the end of the day, you could have gone directly to the builder and used a different consultant, completely different experience. The builder would have been gangster, but it's a whole different experience. For us, this is what we do. It's how I've always been. It's since I started in the industry for the last 8 years. I'm not going to change it now, and that's what it is. If it gets a little bit fucked up and it's like hell late, I'm like, bro, like calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
I'll deal with it tomorrow. But like something as simple as that, like, hey, can I change it now? I'm like, nah, man, like honestly, you can do it this way or this way. Just leave it as is. Otherwise, you're going to get hit with a charge because you're changing shit midway through for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what we do is I could have just said, yes, you can. And then
Tacked on an extra fee.
Exactly. It tacked
Yeah.
on the fee. And then you're like, oh, what the fuck?
No one told me about this. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like the builder does try that, and I will say on behalf of the builder, they do try and give as much updates. But the thing is we're also so active with our construction run, we start going, the fuck is going on here? And that's when we're digging up shit. And you know, with the delays and stuff, we can go there and be preemptive because we're in it together. We're not against the builder or against you or anything like that. We're all here with the same project, with the same goal, which is to build you a fucking killer home. And that's what we're all about. So, you know, if the builder's not doing it, then we're obviously trying to assist and all that. And that's where all that communication, hopefully, even if there's no communication, right? Like there's nothing happening. You're better to hear and go, oh, nothing's happening, but it might be in a couple of weeks. Cool, no worries, no qualms. Rather than just being fucking, you know, like a dead zone.
Yeah.
And you don't know what's going on. You don't know who to talk to and you're not hearing anything.
To answer your question, I think you
Oh,
are.
did I just rant on?
No. A special guest. We
Rant for me,
all
baby.
kind of ranted on. Special guest episodes, which is our client episodes. I think you're somewhere in the 8, 9, 10 kind of range. I don't think we've had any really bad reviews of client episodes yet, but I am waiting for a client to come up and say, you know,
Attack me.
not attack us, but give us a slightly
Come at me.
more raw opinion about, you know, their experiences. Some clients are quite nitpicky about things and, you know,
Yeah.
I didn't get enough communication, or I didn't get my cabinets quickly enough, or I didn't get this quickly enough, or something else happened. Whereas most of our clients, and I see this across our, like most of our demographic, everyone's quite happy, everyone's quite chill because they're getting updates so regularly and they know why there hasn't been something happening on
Yeah.
site. Everyone's like, no, it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah. At that time, it would have felt like it.
Yeah.
But then now that it's actually happened, you sit there and go, yeah, fuck, actually, it wasn't that bad. We've had a few, like the ones that have finished from a while ago, and they were like, you know, we weren't really happy with the build, this and that. Like, they were happy with us, but like, you know, with the build, this and that. And I was like, well, yeah, but hold on, let's look at it where it is now. Now that the house has been finished, you're in it, you've
Yeah.
moved in, how do you actually feel? Like, I do really enjoy the home. I'm like, cool. First off, if you did it right now, you can't afford the house that you just built.
Yeah.
Number two, that's a big eye opener. Number two, you've made like 200, 300K profit from when they started 2-3 years ago versus what it is now. Don't you reckon that softens that blow that little bit? And every
100%.
single person just goes, yeah, no, it does.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you were losing money and you waited, yeah, that's fucked.
Yeah.
That's like, I would sit there and be like, oh, this is fucked.
Yeah, but we haven't had them on the podcast is what I'm saying.
Nah, not yet. But be prepared, that is what I will be saying. Well, at the end of the day, it's being real. That was fucked, but if we're still feeling that upset, then 100%, let's see what's actually going on. But we got to look at the overall picture because now we've gone past that. It was shit during that time. We were more pissed for our clients most of the time, man, for the last, like, since 2020. Than what the clients were. And the client's like, it's not that bad. I'm like, no, this is fucking bad. This should have been better. We probably fed a lot of shit that we probably shouldn't have to the clients because we were so... we're so passionate about why isn't this happening? Like, what is going on? And the client's like, oh, I just thought this is normal. Like, this isn't normal. We know what normal is and this isn't it. So we were probably feeding a little bit of that, I reckon.
Maybe.
But it's
But
like,
in the long run, everyone came out winning. So
Yeah.
I'm happy. Bills are happy. They got paid. Client got money. Happy days. We got paid. Fucking move on.
That's it.
There you go. There you go.
It's like a 15-minute summary to have you had a bad review on a podcast.
But that's the thing. Like, I'd rather be raw about it. No one else is gonna fucking
Stop
say
ranting.
it. No, but like there's yeah, but there are other
shit,
people
sorry.
doing podcasts and shit like that, and no one's actually gonna say half the shit that I say.
No, the whole point of our podcast is to not be scripted and to be raw and just have a conversation.
100%.
Is there
rant.
anything you want to add to the pod before we start closing up?
ooh. Oh, actually, I do have to say, when I was talking about my picks for my house, I did get a lot of inspiration from our Kingsford build.
Oh, okay.
I actually spoke to them. She was amazing. She sent
Kelly.
me-
Kelly. Shout out Kelly.
She like literally sent me like the whole sheet of what she did, and I was like nitpicking, like, oh yeah. So, well, technically, I did have a woman's touch. But,
Okay.
you know, I'll take. She did a really good job, I have to say, and like literally kind of just we did the same building, same design, house, everything. So I was like, So I have to say thank you to her.
Yeah,
big shout out, Kelly. Big shout out. Thank you so much. And it's actually a very interesting point, because that actually comes back to where a lot of the clients at the moment, and you didn't do it, you had your personal, but like a lot of clients are making those building pages, which is what that Our Kingsford build is. It's Troy and Kelly with their family, and they decided to create their own building page, and actually that got quite a lot of traction during the build. Yeah. And they're still using it to this day, I believe. So it's really cool to see, and we have heaps of our clients that do it. Just fucking go follow them and reach out to our clients. Fuck,
but it's
awesome.
It's good because, again, I know you'll hit me for it, but I haven't been to any of your the functions or anything yet. But even so, I still feel very a part of the community. Like, even you've got a few of the mystery on our street. I don't actually have neighbours immediately around my house. Mm-hmm. I already know them down the street.
Yeah,
they've already gone over there, had a drink.
That's awesome.
Yeah, sweet.
And it's just good to, kind of
be a part of something.
Be a part of something. Yeah. If you need something, you've got people around you to help you out, and vice versa.
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
So I really enjoy the community aspect.
Fuck yeah.
Good.
I'm proud to hear
We don't get that. We don't hear that enough, so thank you.
Yeah. So everyone else that jumps onto our podcast, make sure you mention that. Anyone that's listening to us, make sure you mention it to me. No, but I really appreciate it, man, because it means a lot to us, because I feel like for us, that is our biggest achievement.
Yeah.
Like, at least for me, like, I can go build a killer house. Like, we build monster houses, we build small houses. Everyone gets their own journey and their own story. But hands down, the life that this community that we've created, that we started, and how it's created a life on its own, and it's just spread like across Perth. Like, it's even in Adelaide, seeing some of our Adelaide clients that are not even in the same suburb, from like the other side of Adelaide, and they're catching up for drinks and fucking shit. It's phenomenal to see. That is my proudest achievement, because at the end of the day, I can go close off tomorrow and go, we built that and that will last. No one else can replicate that. People can copy our plans, can copy our services and slab signings and all this bullshit, which is awesome, because everyone should get that.
Well, you're up in the game for everyone, but you can't recreate what you're doing.
Nah,
so yeah,
they tried.
Keep it up.
A few people tried.
Really?
Yeah, we've been told, and
didn't work.
No. It's about legends like yourself. It's the people that we choose to work with and our clients, and just hitting it off and just going, bro, let's just fucking be part of something bigger. Do you know what I mean? And what a phenomenal thing to have a community. Sick. Now hurry up and attend our fucking events.
Yeah, I'll be there.
It sounds like we're forcing him. You don't have to attend.
I will force you.
But you will click with so many people there. Like, you will slot in very well.
It costs us more money if he comes, because it's more people we have to pay for. But the thing is I feel like there is so much value for it, because you don't know who you're going to end up meeting, from new friends or people to click with, or even just like meeting with other people in the similar area. You go out, have a fucking drink and food, and just fucking spit yarn. You don't need to know anyone, and you can sit there and go, fuck, I built with that bloke called Nick.
Yeah.
How fucking weird is that, dude? Every second word's fuck, shit, or worse. That's good.
I love it though.
Okay.
100%.
Any other final notes?
No, just
it's good.
Yeah, you guys. I literally come here so unprepared, and I didn't think I was going to be able to say much, because
it's been 50 minutes.
Yeah.
I told you.
By
the time you blink, it's like it's been an hour, and you don't feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And you always start off very nervous, and then after 15 minutes, you're like, yeah, I'm fine, let's shit.
It's just fucking Nick.
And I told you, eventually you got to lean back and he's got to start swaying, which is why I said bring the mic to you. Okay, well, plug. Do you want to plug anything?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really. I plug my Instagram, Zack, ZAK.Ellis23.
Yes.
And I'll post little things here there on my story. So yeah,
awesome.
Check it out.
Awesome.
Yeah, amazing.
Thank you so fucking much for coming on your birthday. Happy birthday. But thank you so much for coming and joining us today for an episode.
And just sharing your notice. Thank you so much. We called you this morning. I'm like, hey, you free?
Yeah. Look, we do know we will not actually do any more for this year. And then we're like, oh, you know what? We'll do one or two. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to call Zach.
Fuck yeah.
He did say that he'll come on a couple months ago.
Yep. He followed through.
He
My
did.
man.
I like to be there, mate. Yeah.
I appreciate you.
All right, so plugging Mr. Enthusiast, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, website, Google, YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Spotify.
Yep.
If you can leave a rating or a review, that really helps us in the back end. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. And just remember, guys.
We're not here.
To fuck spiders.
Fuck oath.
Fuck yeah.
See yas.
Bye.